because the way that this man is fully yearning for her throughout this whole book. Hey guys, it's Sam and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a few months since I last uploaded, but thank you guys for bearing with me, and I'm really excited to film so much more new content for you guys, but in this new house that I moved into. So in the space of March to September, I moved out of London back home. I went to Thailand for a month to visit my family, and then I moved back to London, and it was an unfurnished no, not a house, but a flat. It's an unfurnished flat, so I had to buy every single piece of furniture from scratch. It was truly awful. I have vlogged bits and pieces, so that may be coming at some point soon, just to show you guys the full transformation of how we got this flat to look actually like okay. Today I'll be running through some of my September TBR. I think I roughly know what I want to read for the rest of this month, and I'll be showing you some of the books I've also been reading in September. But let me know what you've been loving. I feel like this has been such a good reading year for me. I've found so many new favourites. I know there have been people asking for like a wrap up so far of what books I've been loving this year, so that will be coming to you shortly as well. So for September I started with Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and this is because I'm actually meeting Rebecca Ross today. Oh my god, it's today. In like a few hours I'm going to a Harper Voyager event that they've put on. The tickets were like £22 and they sold out so fast, but I'm really excited to go. It's Rebecca Ross there, I think a couple of other authors like Sarah El-Arifi, Taryn Matharu, so I think it should be a nice time. And I wanted to read Ruthless Vows because basically I had my pre-order of Wild Reverence coming, which is Rebecca Ross's new book, and I was like, Sam, you never read Ruthless Vows. It has been 2 years since I read Divine Rivals, and I love Divine Rivals so much. It is one of the like most magical, tender, heartfelt romance books I've ever read in my entire life, and Rebecca Ross is one of my favorite writers. But then when the sequel came out, I got a copy, like this is my fairyloot edition, and then I just never read it. I posted that on TikTok and a lot of people said no, like don't worry, I do the same thing. I get like sequel anxiety, and that's probably what it was, to be honest. Like, you know, when you're just so hyped for a book, you see it everywhere and then you're like, oh, let me not read this right now, and then suddenly it's been 1.5 years since it came out and you're finally picking it up. So I read Ruthless Vows this month and I devoured it in a few days. It was, I didn't think I could love the book more than I loved Divine Rivals, but this was so perfect. So it picks up pretty soon after what happened in Divine Rivals. The characters are split up. I don't want to say the main trope because I don't want to ruin it, but the two basically have to find their way back to each other amidst this brewing war. Oh, there are so many good quotes in this. I don't even know what I would pick out, but all you need to know is this main character, Sir Roman Kit. Roman Kit will live rent-free in my mind probably for the rest of my life, because the way that this man is fully yearning for her throughout this whole book. See, like, I can't think about this book without smiling because it was just such a beautiful reading experience. So I think if you're someone who wants to go into fantasy, doesn't really know where to start, but wants something kind of light in terms of the fantasy world building, Divine Rivals is like the perfect duology to start with. So yeah, please read this. So then I'm currently reading Wild Reverence. So I said that I was getting my pre-order, but then the publisher were like, Sam, we know you wanted to read Wild Reverence, shall we send you a proof copy? So I got this like a week before the book came out, but I am, where am I? I'm around 100 pages in, and I love it. Oh my god, I love it. I'm gonna really struggle to talk to Rebecca Ross without crying, because when I meet when I'm really nervous but like I love a person so much, and in this case like I just love her books, my emotions will get the better of me and I will be like, I just love you so much, and like these books are so special and thank you so much. But yeah, I'm loving this one. This is actually a prequel to Divine Rivals, so it's set in the same world, but they are not, you don't actually have to read either one to start either one, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't have to have read Divine Rivals before you read this. It goes into the world way before Divine Rivals, where we're following the gods, the underlings and the skywards and the mortals, and we're getting this really beautiful love story between one of the goddesses who falls for a mortal, but He's basically been dreaming of her his whole life. I'm not that far in yet, but like I feel like the way they're gonna fall in love is gonna be so beautiful. Rebecca Ross is actually gonna hurt me. Also, when I started this, the acknowledgements, I was like, oh my god, this book is gonna ruin me. For anyone who has ever had to let go of someone they love, Rebecca, I'm not okay. So I've already read Ruthless Vows. I'm currently reading Wild Reverence, and I also finished The Wicked Lies of Habin by Anna Fiteni. I picked this one up because I thought it was like a very cute, slim fantasy YA, and I was like, yeah, what a way to start the month. But this is steeped in Welsh folklore. I had a really good time. It's kind of the sweet spot. It's kind of the sweet spot between The Cruel Prince and Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies in terms of its vibe. So like the romance is very reminiscent of Carden and Jude, and he is just so, like, he is so annoying to her, and they have really great banter, whereas the like whimsy of the world very much reminded me of Emily Wilde. So I had a really great time reading it. Guys, it was like 250 pages, so it was the perfect palette cleanser. I think this sits really well in the YA fantasy genre, and I think if you are looking for something a bit lighter, a bit more just like uplifting, I suppose, then this is a good one to go for. And speaking of YA fantasy, I also started, oh, there's some tabs stuck to this. I also started Thorn Season by Kira Azar. This is another YA fantasy, and I picked it up because it just sounded like a good fun YA fantasy. Not that I'm like really in the mood for YA fantasy right now, but something was in the air. There's just so many good sounding ones that were out. In this one, our main character is a wielder, and wielders are persecuted against. If you're found out to be a wielder, that's it, like you're a goner. And our main character has to hide the fact that she's a wielder, and as she approaches her 18th birthday, she basically enters into her debutante season, which if you just think Bridgerton, if you think The Rose Bargain, that's kind of this vibe. And she gets caught in a juicy love triangle between two people who she can definitely not trust. There's the king, there's a foreign ambassador, and there's also actually a third guy who's her childhood friend. And you know what, I am a friends to lovers apologist, and I kind of like their vibe more than anyone else's. But yeah, I'm halfway through, I'm enjoying it. I don't think I like this as much as The Rose Bargain, so if you're looking for something like with like balls, I would probably go for that one over this, but I've not finished this yet, so we shall see. And then for the rest of the month, I've got Bitten by Jordan Stephanie Gray. It's werewolves, and because I am so bad at commitment, I actually already started reading this. I'm on chapter 3 or maybe 5, or this one is werewolves, okay? And our main character basically has this bestie. This is set in like today's time. They go to a party and her friend gets killed by wolves, and during that whole altercation, she actually gets bitten, and when she goes back to her dad's like, oh god, I've got to give you to the Wolf Queen. And she's like, the Wolf Queen? What do you mean? So she basically gets given over to the Wolf Queen because now she's going to turn into a wolf, and she gets put in the prisons. But while she's there, obviously gets stuck into a juicy love triangle with the Golden Prince and his brooding disgraced cousin. And she's going to be stuck in all of the court politics, but also may end up as a pawn in a deadly game. And I started reading this, right, and what I like about it is it transported me back to the golden 2012 era of paranormal romance. Like, if anyone remembers Paranormal by Kirsten White, if you liked The Vampire Academy and Bloodlines, never forget Bloodlines, by Rochelle Mead, there's just something about this writing that is very nostalgic but also very addictive. So I'm excited to see where it goes. It comes out in October, and literally on the back, Stephanie Garber said, deliciously dark and sexy. Rebecca Ross said, luminous and exhilarating. So you know what, that's all I need to hear. So far I've read Ruthless Vows and The Wicked Lies of Habin. I'm currently reading Wild Reverence and Bitten and Thorn Season. For the rest of the books this month, because today is the 13th of September, I think I can probably add a couple more to my TBR just so I have more to pick from. But I've got my TBR cart here. I've spun around. This side I have shelves and this side is like our home office working space. So here is my TBR cart. If you follow me on TikTok, you will know that I'm trying to get through my whole TBR, and I've basically put my like priority reads on this cart, and I'm slowly picking through them to basically make some progress of these books that I've been dying to read for ages and just don't pick up because I forget about them. So like one of them, The Bone Season, I swear I've said I'm gonna read this book this whole year and I still haven't got around to it, so this is on my priority TBR. So let's try and pick from here what else can go on for this month's TBR. But I'm thinking I have quite a few arcs coming out in October. So we've got Firstborn of the Sun by Marvelous Michael Anson, which looks gorgeous. It's an adult fantasy. I believe she can harness the power of the sun, so that's pretty cool. We've got Rebel and Rose by Catherine Doyle. I read, what was the book called? The Dagger and the Flame, which was like a cat and mouse chase with these two warring gangs in like a city reminiscent of Paris, and I did really like that one, so I could potentially pick up the sequel. And I also have The Princess Knight by Kate Jacobs. And if you didn't know, Kate Jacobs is like one of the first people I ever followed on Booktok, and they have written a medieval fantasy romance, and this is what it is. It says on the front, "Love is a battlefield, a highly anticipated debut romantasy for the Middle Ages." Kate has a really great taste in books, so I think they would have harnessed that into this one. So this is a very top contender. And another one for October, I have Moth Dark by Kika Hatsupolu. If you don't know Kika Hatsupolu, you need to read, wait, the book is right in front of me. You need to read Threads That Bind. This is like an urban fantasy, like with noir vibes, where our main character can see the threads of fate. And one day she gets drawn into this altercation where she sees this guy and he is actually her soulmate, because she can see their fate, like their soulmate bond is like between each other. And she obviously doesn't want to tell him that because he's with someone else. So she ends up like solving this whole mystery with him. Kika Hatsupolu is a great writer. So moving on to this one, this is her new book called Moth Dark. It's about a girl in love with a world of darkness and with the mysterious heir to its throne who must fight to prevent the destruction of all she loves. It's a great contender as well. The thing is, like, in my head, I just wish I could read all of them, like one a day, but that's not possible, guys. So we've got A Dance of Lies, which I actually want to read before the end of the year, so maybe not this month, but I'm planning to put this on perhaps October or November. I'm also really intrigued by Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. This one is vampires. Also, this cover is freaking gorgeous. I will say I'm not dying to get to Catabasis. I'm not dying to get to this one yet. I just feel like I'm having that thing where I see so many people talking about it and I'm like, let me wait. Other than that, oh my god, the Jasad Air. So many people that I know on Booktok are actually talking about the series and saying that there is perfect tension and perfect yearning between these two. It's also Egyptian inspired and it is a duology. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna add this to my TBR. Yes. And perhaps one of my friends would like to buddy read it with me. So if we think enemies to lovers, Egyptian inspired, tension, yearning, angst, I'm sold. Thinking the Jasad Air, 100%. I'm gonna add The Princess Knight and Moth Dark. Okay, that seems like a good 3 to add to the rest of this month. Shall we have a quick browse of what else I have on my TBR? All This Twisted Glory. So the 4th book of this series comes out this month and I haven't read this one. So I don't know if I should add this to my TBR as well. Okay, let's do it. Let's add this one. And you know what? Now we're at it. Firstborn of the Sun. I'd like to start this before October because she's quite chunky, and if she leaks into October then that's okay. I'm gonna do a full shelf tour very soon, but here's a little sneak peek. Got this book in my recent fairyloot box. So this is their epic fantasy box, so if you don't want to know what the book was for August then don't look at this, but the theme was beasts, bones and bad ideas. And the book is called The Bone Raiders by Jackson Ford. And guys, there is a giant freaking lizard on this book. But tell me why, I really want to read it. is an action-packed fantasy where a wild band known as the Bone Raiders harnesses the power of gigantic fire-breathing lizards to defend their homeland. Fire-breathing lizards, guys. I didn't think that fire-breathing lizards was going to be on my highly anticipated reads list, but this book sounds amazing. Now inside... So I think the epic fantasy subscription for fairyloot is like quarterly right now, so there's one book every 3 months. And yeah, look at that. That is so cool. Moth Dark by Kika Hatsupolu, which is YA fantasy, fae, vibey dreams. Then we have The Princess Knight, which is going to be medieval fantasy. Not sure if it's adult or YA actually. I have to check. The Just Sad Air, which is a duology, Egyptian-inspired, enemies to lovers, yearning tension. I've heard good things. All This Twisted Glory, Tahira Murphy. I love, 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 love her. And this series is also filled with tension and yearning. And I'm really excited to see what's happening with Cyrus. Firstborn of the Sun by Marvelous Michael Anson, which is, yes, it is an adult fantasy. I guess I'm reading the Bone Raiders. I'm really intrigued, guys. I want to know about these fire-breathing lizards. 6 books is sensible. It is, isn't it? Which is maybe why I should add a few more. I actually haven't read Diabound by Sable Sorensen, but everyone is loving it. Everyone's talking about it. I haven't bought the trad version. I kind of want to wait to read the traditionally published version just in case anything changes in the story or they make any like additions of things that I need to know about. I mean, go on, let's add it to the pile. I think, is it on Kindle Unlimited? If it is on Kindle Unlimited, then it's a definite yes. Let me add it to the TBR because I've heard it's really juicy. Only the worthy survive. She'll risk everything to be one of them. When Merrin Cooper's sister is kidnapped by the enemy, Merrin enlists in the army, desperate to get across the border to save Sayila from the immortal foes. But she doesn't realise there are bonding trials this year. Not the bonding trials! Meaning all soldiers are forced to risk their lives to connect with a direwolf, and Merrin is thrown into the deadly competition. Everyone is out to get her, everyone but the dangerously handsome Crown Prince Killian Valterre. But if she loses her heart to him, she may also lose her life, and the castle is hiding dark secrets. It's going on the TBR. I think this is a good start, guys, as a comeback to my TBR video. I really like doing the TBR prompts, but I think I might save that for October just because I have so many books that are on my like immediately want to read list. And this is a good start. My current reads. Have you guys read any of these? Please let me know. Let me know if any of them are any of your favorites. So excited for the rest of September, guys. I feel like Ruthless Vows was incredible, and now I'm reading Wild Reverence, which is incredible, and so many of these I think are going to be incredible. It's just I just need to get into them. My next video I'm aiming to do is for my bookshelf tour, and I spent a lot of time putting these together, so I can't wait to show you guys all of the books on my shelf. So if you want to watch that, then definitely follow along. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me while I come back to booktube. If you want to follow some other things I'm doing, you can check me out on Instagram or TikTok, and I will see you very soon.